The exchange. The transport shuttle hummed as it approached the massive crystalline structure, floating in orbit around the violet gas. Giant Zenith Prime. "This is where I leave you," said Captain Sarah Chen, with a cold formality that barely masked her discomfort. "So this is what 20 years of military service gets me," Kai Reeves replied bitterly. "Hand it over like a peace token." Sarah avoided his gaze. "The Alliance needs this treaty," she whispered. "Your sacrifice saves millions." Kai Reeves had been Earth's most decorated tactical commander, his enhanced reflexes and strategic mind making him the perfect soldier. But perfect soldiers became perfect bargaining chips when defeat loomed. At 42, with service scars mapping his weathered face, he was still imposing, still valuable. "The Nithian specifically requested you," Sarah added. "Consider it an honor. An honor to be property," he said. The shuttle docked with a gentle shudder. The crystal docking bay shimmered with an inner light that seemed alive, pulsing in colors humans had no names for. 3 tall figures awaited them, their skin held a faint purple luminescence, their movements fluid like water. "Welcome to the Zenith Spire," the central figure spoke, her voice melodic yet authoritative. "I am Aya, Queen of the Nithian Collective." Unlike the others who wore ceremonial armor, Queen Aya wore flowing garments that seemed woven from starlight itself. Her eyes, deep violet with flecks of silver, studied Kai with unsettling intensity. "Commander Reeves is now in your custody," Sarah said formally. "Earth honors the treaty terms. You may leave," Aya said to Sarah without breaking her gaze from Kai. After the shuttle departed, Kai stood alone before the Queen, refusing to show the fear churning inside him. "Follow me, Commander." Aya turned, her movements graceful despite her considerable height. They traversed corridors that seemed carved from single massive crystals, eventually entering a vast chamber with views of space so clear it felt like floating among the stars. "Do you know why you're here, Commander Reeves?" Aya asked. "I'm a hostage to ensure Earth's compliance," Aya smiled, revealing teeth with a pearlescent sheen. "You are much more than that," she approached him, her scent like nothing he'd encountered, reminiscent of lightning and exotic flowers. "Our bioscanners identified you as something exceptional." "What does that mean?" Kai asked. "It means you have a choice." She circled him slowly. "In our culture, when we take someone of your compatibility, they must either pledge themselves as a life bond mate or serve as royal guardian." She paused directly before him. "Love or duty, Commander Reeves, that is your choice." Kai laughed incredulously. "You expect me to fall in love on command?" "Not on command," Aya replied. "But I give you one cycle of our moon to decide." Her fingers brushed his cheek, sending an unexpected current through his body. "Until then, you will remain in my court, where you will learn our ways, and if I refuse both options?" Her expression darkened. "That would violate the treaty and restart a war your people cannot win." She moved toward the door. "You belong to me now. Commander Reeves, make your choice wisely." As guards escorted him to his quarters, Kai realized the terrible truth. He was trapped in a game where every move led to his surrender. Fractured trust. The royal gardens of Zenith Spire defied Earth's understanding of botany. Plants with crystalline structures caught light and refracted it in dazzling patterns, while others seemed to sing when touched. Kai found himself spending hours there, finding it the only place that eased his restless mind. "I see you appreciate beauty despite your warrior's heart." Queen Aya's voice came from behind him. Kai turned to find her dressed more simply today, though no less regal. "I appreciate strategy," he replied. "Your gardens provide excellent sightlines and multiple escape routes." She laughed, the sound like chimes in wind, always the tactician. She gestured for him to walk beside her. "Have you received the data transmission from your Earth command?" "Yes." Kai's jaw tightened. "Seems they've classified me as honorably discharged rather than admit they handed me over. Does that surprise you?" She asked. It shouldn't have, but it did. The military had been his life, his identity. Loyalty should go both ways, he said finally. They paused beside a pool of liquid that reflected not their faces but their emotional states. Kai's a turbulent storm. Aya's a deep, calm sea with undercurrents. "Your Earth Command knew exactly what would happen when they sent you here," Aya said quietly. "They were informed of your genetic compatibility with our royal line." Kai stared at her, What are you saying? Your leaders were told you would be offered the life bond or guardianship they calculated you would choose service over intimacy. She touched the liquid pool, disturbing both their reflections. They believe you incapable of love, Commander. That is why they selected you. The revelation hit Kai like physical pain. They sent me because they thought I'd never choose the life bond option. Yes. Aya nodded. A perfect solution. Fulfill the treaty while ensuring their best tactical mind remains loyal to Earth. Her eyes met his. They underestimated both of us. How so? They believe Nithians see life bonds as merely political. They do not understand it as our sacred connection, she said. And they believe you are emotionless. When I see the depth of feeling you hide, you don't know me, Kai said sharply, don't I? She challenged. You feel betrayed, abandoned. Your sense of purpose is shattered. She stepped closer. What Earth failed to tell you is that guardianship isn't simply service. It requires a neural link you would cease to have independent thought. Kai felt cold dread. They sold me into mental slavery. Yes, she said simply, while telling you it was honorable duty. That night, Kai accessed the encrypted files he'd hidden in his neural implant, contingency plans, alliance strategies, everything he'd dedicated his life to protecting. What he found devastated him. Earth had been planning to break the treaty all along. His sacrifice was merely a delaying tactic when Aya's advisor Cooper entered his chambers without announcement. Kai didn't even reach for a weapon. His world had already collapsed. The Queen requests your presence, Cooper said. She believes you have discovered the truth. In her private observatory, Aya stood watching twin moons rise over Zenith Prime. When she turned, Kai saw something unexpected in her eyes. Compassion. Now you understand, she said softly. You were betrayed long before you came here. Why tell me? Kai asked, why not let me remain loyal to a lie? Because Aya approached him, her violet skin luminous in the moonlight. I want your choice to be real. The Heart's Awakening. 2 weeks into his stay, Kai found himself increasingly drawn to Queen Aya's council meetings. Her leadership style fascinated him, decisive yet compassionate, strategic yet principled, so unlike the calculated coldness of Alliance Command. You're staring again, Commander, Aya noted as the council members filed out. I'm observing, Kai corrected professional habit. And what do you observe? She moved to a table where a 3-dimensional map of neighboring systems glowed. That you just rejected a tactical advantage that would have strengthened your position against the Krell Dominion. Aya nodded. Because it would have endangered civilian outposts. Military decisions aren't about morality, Kai said. Repeating what he'd been taught, aren't they? Aya challenged. What purpose does victory serve if we become monsters to achieve it? The question lingered between them. Kai had never allowed himself to consider such things. Strategy was about efficiency. Not ethics. Join me for the evening meal, she said. Not as a command, but an invitation. That night in her private dining chamber, Kai saw yet another side of the Queen. Gone was the formal ruler, replaced by someone curious and surprisingly witty. They discussed Earth literature, Nithian music, battle tactics, and philosophy. You're nothing like what I expected, Kai admitted after his second glass of Nithian wine, a beverage that seemed to shimmer with its own light. What did you expect? Aya asked. A tyrant? A cold empress? Honestly? Yes, he smiled, his first genuine smile since arriving. The Alliance portrays your people as emotionless and calculating. Ironic, Aya said, considering how your military suppresses emotion. Her hand moved closer to his on the table. Tell me, Kai, not Commander Reeves, what do you want from life? The question caught him off guard. No one had ever asked him that. His wants had always been irrelevant to his duty. I don't know, he admitted later, as Aya showed him the Royal Observatory with its unparalleled view of the galaxy. Something shifted between them when her hand brushed his. Neither pulled away. In 3 days, you must decide, she reminded him softly. Life bond or guardianship? What would a life bond mean? Kai asked. Truly mean? Aya turned to him, her expression vulnerable for the first time. It would mean connection. Mental, emotional, physical. A sharing of ourselves, an alliance of equals. And if I chose guardianship? You would serve perfectly, pain flickered across her features. But the man you are would be gone. Why offer the choice at all? Kai stepped closer. Why not simply make me a guardian? Because forced connection is not our way, she whispered. True bonds must be chosen. The air between them seemed charged with electricity. When Kai reached up to touch her face, the contact sent warmth coursing through his body. Her skin felt like warm silk beneath his fingers. I've never allowed myself to want anything beyond duty, he confessed. Perhaps it's time you did, Aya said. Her lips met his tentatively at first. Then with growing certainty, the kiss deepened, unleashing something Kai had suppressed his entire life as they drew apart. Both breathless, he saw wonder in her eyes. You're trembling, he observed. No one has touched me in 200 years, she admitted. I've been waiting for what? For someone who could see beyond the queen to the woman beneath. Her voice was barely audible. For you, perhaps. That night, for the first time since arriving on Zenith, Kai didn't feel like a prisoner or a sacrifice, he felt awake. Something dangerous and wonderful was happening. He was beginning to care. Betrayal from Earth. The emergency sirens wailed throughout Zenith Spire. Pulsing crystal walls flashing warning patterns, Kai ran through corridors now familiar to him, heading for the command center. What's happening? He demanded as he entered. Aya stood at the central console, her expression grim. Alliance vessels have entered our system. She turned to him. They claim to be on a rescue mission to retrieve you. The words hit him like physical blows. His first instinct, joy at rescue, was immediately followed by suspicion. This makes no tactical sense, he said. Breaking the treaty risks restarting the war. Unless they never intended to honor it, Cooper said. Eyeing Kai with renewed distrust, a transmission request flashed on the main screen. Aya nodded, and the image of Admiral Isabel Grant appeared. Kai's former superior, Commander Reeves' relief colored her voice. We've come to extract you from hostile territory. Before Kai could respond, Aya stepped forward. Admiral Grant, the commander is here under treaty protection. Your presence violates our agreement. We have intelligence suggesting our officer is being held against his will. Isabel replied coolly. Commander Reeves, are you being coerced? The question hung in the air. Kai felt everyone's eyes on him. His answer would determine the fate of peace between their peoples. No, Admiral, he said finally. I am here voluntarily. As agreed, Isabel's expression hardened. Commander, we know about the Nithian bonding process. You've been compromised. She turned to someone off-screen. Dr. Tanner was right. We'll need to implement Protocol Theta upon extraction. Protocol Theta. Neural rewiring. Kai felt cold realization spread through him. They weren't coming to rescue him. They were coming to reset him. You need to leave Alliance space immediately, Aya commanded, or we will consider this an act of war. We're not leaving without our officer, Isabel responded. You have 1 hour to return him or we will take action. The transmission ended, leaving tense silence. Did you know about this? Cooper demanded of Kai. No. Kai's mind raced through strategic possibilities. But I know their capabilities. They have a stealth team aboard that vessel. They're likely already infiltrating the spire. As if confirming his words, security alerts began flashing throughout the system. They're here, Aya said softly. For you. Within minutes, Kai had organized Nithian security forces, positioning them to intercept the Alliance infiltrators. His intimate knowledge of Alliance tactics proving invaluable. Why are you helping us? Cooper asked as they moved through the spire's lower levels. Because the Alliance lied. Kai replied, to all of us. They encountered the extraction team near Kai's quarters, 6 soldiers in stealth gear led by Major Alex Rivera. Another enhanced soldier Kai had once trained, Commander. Alex looked genuinely relieved. We're here to bring you home. By using Protocol Theta? Kai challenged. By wiping my mind? Alex hesitated. It's for your own protection. The Nithians have compromised you. The only ones who compromised me were my own commanders. Kai's voice was steel. When they failed to mention guardianship meant mental slavery. We have our orders. Alex raised his weapon. Don't make this difficult. It already is, Kai said, as Alliance soldiers moved to subdue him. He demonstrated why he'd been Earth's premier tactical commander. The fight was brief but intense. When it ended, the extraction team lay unconscious. But Kai was wounded. A energy blade had sliced across his abdomen. Get him to medical. Aya ordered as she arrived with reinforcements. Her eyes filled with fear when she saw his injury. Kai. As they transported him to the medical chamber, the Alliance flagship began moving into attack position. You need to surrender me, Kai told her through gritted teeth. It's the only way to prevent war. No, Aya's voice broke. There's another way. Starbound Destiny. In the crystal healing chamber, Nethian medical technology sealed Kai's wound while Aya negotiated with Admiral Grant. Your extraction team has been captured alive. Aya informed the Admiral. They will be returned unharmed on one condition. We don't negotiate with hostage takers. Isabel responded. Then perhaps you'll negotiate with me, Kai said, stepping into view. Despite the medical team's objections, he'd insisted on joining the call. Commander Reeves' Isabel's expression was unreadable. Are you speaking freely? More freely than I ever did under Alliance command. Kai said, I know about Protocol Theta. I know the Alliance intends to break the treaty. I know I was sent here because you believed I couldn't form emotional attachments. Isabel's eyes narrowed. The Nethians have clearly affected your judgment. No, Kai's voice was firm. For the first time, I'm seeing clearly you never valued me. Just my tactical abilities. You're willing to restart a war that will kill millions just to recover an asset. An asset? Aya repeated, her voice cold. Is that how the Alliance views its people? The deadline has expired, Isabel stated. Surrender Commander Reeves and withdraw your claim on him. Or we open fire. Kai stepped closer to the transmission. Admiral Grant, before you start another war, I suggest you check the telemetry from your ship's sensors. He nodded to Cooper, who transmitted data to the Alliance vessel. Isabel's face paled as she viewed the information. While you were focused on the spire, 20 Nethian vessels moved into position around your ship, Kai explained. Vessels your sensors didn't detect. They've been there since before you arrived. This is a bluff, Isabel said, but uncertainty crept into her voice. Is it? Kai asked. You know my tactical capabilities. Do you really believe I wouldn't have prepared for this contingency? After a tense moment, Isabel spoke. What are your terms? The Alliance will honor the original treaty, Kai said, and acknowledge my choice to remain here. As a hostage? No. Kai looked at Aya. His decision made, as consort to Queen Aya through life bond by my free choice. The surprise on Aya's face was genuine, her violet eyes widening. You can't be serious, Isabel said. I've never been more certain. Kai replied, the Alliance discarded me. Now I'm choosing my own path. Hours later, after the Alliance ship had retreated and the extraction team had been returned, Kai stood with Aya in the royal gardens. You chose the life bond, she said softly. Why? Because for the first time in my life, I want something for myself. He took her hands in his. I want to know what it means to choose connection over duty, to choose love. Love? She repeated, hope in her voice. I'm beginning to understand it, he admitted. I want to learn more. The life bond ceremony took place 3 days later, under twin moons. Before representatives of both worlds, Kai and Aya joined not as conqueror and conquered, but as equals. Their minds touched in the Nethian tradition, creating a connection deeper than words. This doesn't end the challenges, Aya whispered as they stood on the observatory balcony afterward. There will be resistance from both sides. Good thing they're facing the best tactical mind of Earth and the wisest queen of Zenith. Kai smiled, drawing her close as stars wheeled above them. Kai realized he had found something he never knew he sought. Not just purpose, but belonging. Not just respect, but love. You once gave me 2 choices, he said softly. Love or obey. And you chose love. She finished. I chose us, he corrected, which means sometimes I'll love you. Sometimes I'll challenge you, but I'll always choose you. Their lips met as starlight bathed them in its glow. 2 beings from worlds apart, now bound by choice, by courage, and by a love that defied the cold calculations of war.